In this demo, I want to talk about how you can take a large file, compress it, make it smaller, and make it easier to upload that file. So the software I would recommend if you're using a PC or if you're using Windows is the 7-zip. So just go to this URL address 7-zip, and here you can download it for Windows. Now, if you look here for a Mac version, if you're using Macintosh, I will type in Mac, you will see there is no version for Mac, but there is a link here for unofficial P7-zip packages. So they're just saying this software is compatible with their 7-zip format, which we don't really care about, but this is basically a compressor that also lets you compress in zip format, and it lets you break up a file from let's say you have a 200 megabyte file. It lets you break it up into, let's say, 50 megabytes, multiple zip folders, and it makes it easier for you to upload each of the 50 megabyte files, especially if the service that you're using does not allow you to upload large files. So if that's the case, then you need to break up your file and make it easier for you to upload your file. So if you're using Mac, I would recommend that you use this Keka software. I just opened the link here, keka.io. So if you're using Mac, download this software. If you're using Windows, you probably already have 7-zip because PC users use this software a lot, or at least people I know that use Windows use 7-zip often, from my experience. So let's talk about how this works. I'm using Windows right now, so I'm going to talk about 7-zip. So here I have a file that is 51 megabytes. So I can use a right click, and I should mention 7-zip is already installed on this machine. This is one of the first software I install whenever I install Windows. I would start with 7-zip. One of the reasons is because whenever you download anything, it's useful to be able to uncompress a file or compress your own file, and I use it professionally as well to make it easier for clients to download a file quickly, right? It's quicker for me to upload a file that's been compressed because a compressed file is smaller, so it takes less time to upload. So with that in mind, let's look at some of the options. When you do a right click, you have this option here, 7-zip. And when I go under these options, I can open an archive, or I can add to an archive. You can also do other things. For now, this is the only option I want to look at. And so if I add this file to an archive, it will ask me what I want to do. So for the archive format, if I wanted to, I can use the 7-zip format. I can also use some of the other formats, which are very popular. A lot of people use some of these other formats, but the most common format that most of your clients would have would be the zip format. So if we want to break up this file into multiple smaller file sizes, we can change some of these settings. Now if your computer is very slow, maybe you want to go to the normal compression level. Personally, I like to compress them really small, so I would go with Ultra. Yeah, let's go with normal just for the sake of a video. And here you have a compression method. We just want it to be the standard deflate. Dictionary size, this doesn't matter. By default it's already 32. Word size, again, this does not matter. Solid block size, this is not enabled because we're using a zip. This is for other formats. Now the number of CPU you want to use to compress a file. So this is in the case of you using, let's say, Photoshop, and at the same time you're using Keyshot and you're rendering an image. So maybe Keyshot is using all of your CPU, so all of the resources from your PC, so that it can make an image quicker, right? So you use all of your computer resources to quickly generate an image. So maybe you just want to use one for the compression of your file, or maybe you want to wait until the rendering is done, and then you would use all 4 of your CPU. And again, this is depending on your computer's resources. If you have a better processor, you might have 8 or 32. At the Academy of Art, we have 32 threads. So yeah, depending on your settings, you may want to go with Ultra. and you may want to use less or more of your threads. So we want it to be broken up into smaller files. How do we do this? We go up here under the split to volume bytes. So this is called a multi-part zip. I believe that's the technical name. So a multi-zip broken up into multiple parts. So we can ask it how much memory do we want to use for each of the zip files. And as I said before, the file here is 50 megabytes. So if we said we want it to be 100 megabytes, then we would get one zip folder. So we don't want that. For the sake of a demo, we want it to be smaller. So let's say we want to break it up into 5 megabytes, or maybe 7 megabytes. So this can be whatever you want, and by default, the volume is split into bytes. So bytes, not megabytes. That's interesting. So if you said 10M, okay. So if I wanted 7, I need to make sure it's 7 and then the letter M. So that's good to know. I was going to say 7, but 7 bytes is not 7 megabytes. So yeah. Okay, so we want 7M, and parameters, this does not matter. Now, another thing that you may want to look at is password. Let's say you're working on a client's file, and this is something that is private, and you want to make sure that no one could ever open this file other than your client, who already has your password, and you gave the password, in person. You didn't write an email which could be hacked or anything like that. So you made it very secure, and you gave a password to your client. We can password protect the file. So let's do that right now, just for fun. I will say 0, 1, 2, 3, something very simple. Of course, I never use this password for any of my files, because this is the worst password you could use. So, what else can we do? We can add and replace a file. This does not matter. Path, this doesn't matter either. I will just zip it here in the same folder. Compress share file, we don't need that. So these are the settings we will use. Now we can also show or hide the password. This would be if you're in a public place, you're in a computer room, there's people around you, you don't want to publicly give the password out, especially if there's some kind of camera looking at your monitor. So again, this is for security reasons. If you really want to be secure, you can use a password. You would not want to show the password. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3. And here we can use the default zip crypto or the standard AES 256. This is pretty standard. I find that zip crypto is completely fine, so I've never used the other setting. Now, if the other setting was the 5, I believe it's 5, what is it, 5 something? There's another one which is more secure. So if it was the more secure one, I would consider using it. Anyway, yeah, I believe it's 512, 256, 512. So if you're using 512, maybe it's more secure and it's worth using the other encryption option. In most cases, this is a quick way to break up a file into multiple smaller files, making it easier to upload. So let's use these settings. Press OK. You will see it will use your CPU and generate the files, break it up into multiple files. So in this case, it created 2 files. So it compressed the file very heavily because this file was 51 megabytes. So this is what the file looked like, except it's a Rhino 6, not Rhino 5. So let's close it. And let's get these 2 zip inside this new folder. Now I'm doing this just for the sake of a demo to show you this file. Right, so here we have 2 zip, so we would upload this onto a server, or in our case onto the interface of the Academy of Art. You would upload a 7 megabyte file instead of a 50 megabyte file. And here you would open the zip with your compressor. So if you're using the KK for Mac, you would use that. If you're using the 7-zip, you would open it with the 7-zip. Again, using a right click. And here you can open the archive. or you can also extract here. So for the sake of a demo, I will use extract here. It will prompt the password. So the password is 0123. Again, if you're in a secure place, you do not want people to see the answer for the password. So again, it depends on how secure you want to be. If you want to be very secure, you would not show the password. And here it is. So here you have your file. The compression gave you something that was around 14.3 megabytes, and the original file was actually 51 megabytes. So this is one way for generating a zipped folder, so a compressed file, which is easier for you to upload, and then you still have the regular file, which is the same exact file as we originally had. So now we can go under Open With. I have to make sure I use Rhino 6 because I have so many different versions. I have a work in progress. But anyway, let's use Rhino 6. Open this file. And we have this very heavy file. So hopefully this makes sense to you. If you're using Mac, I guess you would have to look into it a little more because it will not work exactly the same way. But when you are working with heavy files, this is definitely the method to use to make the uploading process easier. And of course you do not have to use a password. I was showing you the password protection, the encryption, specifically for clients' work. If your client wants it to be very private, then this is what you would do, so that if someone could see your file, they wouldn't be able to access the file that's within the zip. Now, one thing to know is if someone really wanted to understand what's inside the zip, they could still go under 7-zip and they could do open the archive, and so they can still see what's inside the zip even without the password. And then once you take the file and you extract it, then it will ask you for the password. So there is a level of security that you do get with a zip, but at the same time the content can be displayed. So if you're really concerned about security, there's other ways to hide the information that's within the zip. And one of the methods I found that was useful was to have a zip within a zip. So to get the zip, you have to use a password. And then to get the content of a zip, you have to use the same password or a different password. And again, this is like, how secure do you want to be? Now, in most cases, you don't need to be that secure, plus no one wants to see your 3D model, right? Like, no one is going to hack a zip to see your 3D model. But if you're really concerned about security for one of your clients, maybe this is the way to go. Especially if you have a very heavy file with a lot of images, then you can break it up into multiple zips. They download the entire content, they extract one of a zip, everything is extracted at once. You don't have to open them one after the other, just extract the first zip and it recognizes the content from both of the zip folders. So this is the compression method I would recommend if you want to compress your file and upload it using a smaller file size.